Okay, well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here tonight I bring up a really great mate. He's an Indonesian guy. He came here about maybe 5 or 6 years. I was 6 years old, and learned English here natural. So I just really want to ask a little bit about his education, his opinion about Australian life, and about maybe, let's see the interview anyway. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you going, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good as well.
Yeah.
Firstly, before I'm going to the real context of a sort of interview tonight, can you tell me just a little bit about yourself and your educations? So, your interview, your information maybe will be more helpful for me and for my students later when I come back in Indonesia anyway.
Yeah. Well, my name is Harlan, and my education is basically, I grew up here. I did primary school and high school up to year 12, and then on I went to study at a college, TAFE. It's called TAFE. I studied courses such as hospitality, assistant nursing. I did assistant in nutrition and dietetic assistance, and I did a few trade courses like welding and fabricating. Also did painting courses, and anything else you want to know?
Yes, interesting because you took more courses. Well,
Yeah.
I think all of the courses you take anyway.
Yeah.
So which is the more interesting for you?
Oh, out of everything, I took most interest in the nutrition course because I love learning about science and food.
Alright.
And how food benefits our bodies.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, and
Cool.
our well-being. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Well, I think it means that you wanna go with professionally with the work anyway, with the courses anyway. Example, you took a nutrition and something like that. So you're gonna go with your work later, is it?
Yeah, I would like to take my education further, and at the moment I'm enrolled in a Bachelor of Naturopathy, Health Science at a college in the city. So I'm looking forward in doing that, taking my further education into nutrition.
So now it means that I get a little bit about it, but now what are you doing at the moment with your work? So are you doing with nutrition work or fabrication work at the moment?
At the moment I'm a welder and fabricator. It's just a job. It's not really like a career, but just to get some, money.
Some money, yeah.
Yeah, some decent money, yeah.
Well, I think it's great, yeah. And anyway, it is very good for the young generations like to doing the work and get money, and you want to invest your future educations anyhow, so to get much better in your life.
Yeah, like living in Australia, like education is very accessible. It's really easy. You can take up a course in college. There's plenty of courses for all age. You don't have to be young. You can be like a mature age and still learn in education. It doesn't matter if you're like in your 30s, 40s or 50s. You can still, apply yourself in education in the Australian system. Yeah, it's very flexible too. You can study online, you can use part-time. You can work full-time and study part-time online.
That's really cool,
so,
Well, I think it's very interesting, anyone, because Australia, I know, prepares about very good educations in time and also in in a very level and the age of people. So no matter what age we are, but we still have any opportunity to learn with example. I'm older than the young generation, so classrooms is is very very equality, doing something right. So the last one, I just really want to ask you for later on. when Tony Abbott led Australian government anyway, what you think about it, for the Australian education? Do you think this, but for the previous one is better than when Tony Abbott led it?
Okay. Well, I heard the latest news from friends that there's like pros and cons about it, that employers now have a choice and they're actually more obligated to pick to choose the employees that they want. They should be permanent resident first before international students or the immigrants.
Alright, so you mean that if I generalize it, before Tony Abbott or maybe when with Jolie Gillard, like international students, they have a lot of opportunities to maybe to get a job in Australia.
Yeah.
So now you told me just now that resident first. That's you mean?
Yeah. Usually now, like, employers can choose residents first, or they can like advertise a job and just say Australian residents need to apply.
Alright, yeah.
So the Australian residents are put first to get the job.
Alright, so
then other people. That's not residents. There's pros and cons about it.
Yeah, I got about a point. Well, I think the last one.
Yeah.
So, do you think is there any good opportunity for the international students in the future?
Yeah, to study in Australia. It's one of the best countries to study because our Australian qualification is recognised worldwide. So you get the accreditation. So if you qualified in something in Australia, like, you can use that qualification anywhere around the world, and it's highly regarded.
Oh right, yeah, that's cool.
Especially a university degree, like it's one of the top, high standard of education.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the best things about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you talk about education, or we talk about educations. I mean, not only in education, I think international students can go further in the higher level of educations. But I mean, getting more work. I mean. So do you think still think about is there any opportunity for international students to make a very good competition to Australian citizens?
There's always a good competition out there.
Yeah, right.
Yes, international students say with their background qualifications, if the qualification is recognised, they will have a good chance of competing with Australian citizens here. All right.
Yes. Although the government, try to make the Australian citizen is priority on that.
Yeah.
So international students still have any more chance as long as they have good certification or international recognized by Australian education.
If they bring a lot of skills and experience and have good qualifications, that is recognized in Australia. They can have recognition for it. If they can have the recognition for it, will be really good.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Harlan, for a very interesting information today. And for everyone who wanna come into Australia to have better education for very good future. So it is. I reckon Australia is one of the best countries in the world to study in, right?
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, thank you very much for the interview tonight, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh with Mr. Jackson.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.